In this video I'm going to bring you to China. For 10 years we have been traveling to China to source tea for you, but starting from 2019 we have also done the other way around. We have taken you to China. In this video I would like to share with you what does it mean coming with Nannuoshan on a tea journey to China. Let's get started. Hi guys, this is Gabriele from Nannuoshan, where we share the pleasure of drinking and discovering genuine farm tea. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe our channel, as many videos like this will come your way very soon. And if at any point of time you enjoy watching this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Alright, today I want to bring you to China. First of all, before I start, for those of you that have already signed in for the Nannuoshan Tea Tour of next year, consider if you should watch this video or not, because some of the places at least that I will show are also places in which we will travel, so you might want just to have a surprise next year, and you might stop watching it right now if you know that you're coming. Up to you. Another thing you can do, you can just go in a podcast version, so you don't watch the movie, you just listen to it and you get a little bit inside without having a look at the picture. Up to you. But if you are just interested in knowing how it is a tea journey organized by Nannuoshan in China, or maybe if you are considering coming but you are not very sure, then that's certainly interesting to have a look at the whole video. By the way, in the meanwhile, we have quite a few persons that have registered for next year. There are persons coming from the US, not only myself, also other persons, and from many countries in Europe. We have a registered person from France, from Germany, from Austria, from Switzerland. Alright, so I will start showing you a small, or at least the start of a small video that Marcella and Roberto have created for us for the Tea Tour 2019. Marcella and Roberto were participants together with other 12 people to the Nannuoshan Tea Tour 2019. They have done all the pictures that I will show in this video, except maybe for one or two, and they have done also this video, so have a look. Alright, I won't show you all the video because otherwise, yeah, you have a look already at the whole journey. We go a little bit step by step. The first day in the afternoon, everyone arrived in Shanghai. At different time, we pick up the people at the airport, everyone meet in the hotel, we had a briefing, and then we went out in the evening to see a little bit the metropolitan Shanghai. I have all the pictures here with me on the iPad and I will scroll them together with you. And then we went out for dinner in a local Shanghai restaurant. Everyone was a little bit jet lagged, so we have a very smooth start. However, the next day we got up pretty early in the morning and we went to one of my favorite tea mall in Shanghai. It is different buildings and different stores with hundreds of different tea and teaware shops that I know very well because I spent in the tea mall weeks and weeks in total, and also the Nannuoshan warehouse is actually located there. So I gave everybody tips about which shop they should look, and during the whole day we spent in the tea mall. Everyone was looking around, buying things, just looking around. But we didn't do only that, we also organized 3 tea tasting, and they were actually very specialty tea tasting. I chose 3 of my favorite shops in the whole mall, and we had a tasting dedicated to Yunnan pu'er and black tea. Then we had another one that was dedicated to Taiwan oolong, and this shop is very special. For those of you that know him, this is the only shop in whole mainland China that can directly source tea from Master Chen from Atom. And then we had also a tasting in another shop, which is actually my favorite shop in the whole China. I don't have picture for that, so maybe it will be a surprise for those coming next year. In the evening, we had, after dinner, another small surprise. For those that were not too tired, we had a meditative tea tasting with the Ui Rock Tea Master. It was, I believe, for some of us that are really into combining a little bit tea with meditation and relaxing, it might have been the best tea tasting they have ever done. And I'm not exaggerating, people were really excited afterwards, and it is all organized by a group of people that live in a similar lifestyle. They are all Buddhist, and they have together a company, a community where they produce tea and TEAWARE. Alright, so the next day we took very early again in the morning a train and a bus to another place in China where we wanted to explore green tea. Upon arrival, of course, we have a lavish lunch as usual. We have explored a little bit the downtown, the renovated downtown, and then we had an extensive tea tasting. I think we have tasted probably dozens of different green tea. And it was so fascinating there that also we attracted a local television that shooted a small video for the local television interviewing Benjamin and myself. Yeah, you see it actually here running up on my left. It was really nice time, and we ordered quite a few tea there. In the evening there was another little surprise. We went in an Yixing atelier. It's a very special one. For those of you that are really into Yixing, you might know Zhang Rong. Zhang Rong is probably the most famous, or certainly one of the most famous Yixing artists of the past century. She passed away quite some years ago, but in the atelier is still run by his nephew that you see here pouring tea for us. We had also the opportunity, at least some of us, to try working a little bit with the Yixing clay, and we also bought some teapots there. The next day in the morning it was raining. We visited a Tang Dynasty memorial, a memorial to Lu Yu, and after that we went out for lunch. So we learned how to peel bamboos to prepare our lunch, and after that we visited a green tea and black tea factory. Here you see, actually in those days there was at the end of the green tea production, they were still producing green tea as you see in this picture. And after that, I think it was the next day, the next day in the morning, since we were anyway in a hotel that was in a natural resort, we went out, and just out of the hotel there were tea fields, so every one of us had the opportunity to try picking green tea leaves themselves. And after that, unfortunately, it was already the time to move on, so we went back to the city. We have a last goodbye evening, goodbye lunch, and then we took another plane, no, it was a train, another train for Wuhan. And now the second part of the tour, the tea journey start, where we went to see oolong production. We left the very last portion of the green tea production and we arrived in Wuhan, where the oolong production was just starting. This is why we choose a period of time, the end of April and start of May, because we want you to experience with one single journey both green tea and oolong production that is so different. So the first thing we do the next morning in Wuhan, we went out to picking the leaves. So we had to walk in the nature, as you see it here, sometime on quite rough courses and paths, and then we spent basically the whole morning picking leaves in the tea garden. It is an ecological tea garden. They don't spray anything there. In fact, many leaves were a little bit damaged, and we picked Fosho. Fosho is the name of the cultivar, Buddha's hand. As you can see here, we picked up quite a large amount of leaves, and after that we've gone in the factory. So we have basically processed, at least start the process of the leaves ourselves. Here you see where we put the leaves outside for withering, and then here in the indoor we have an explanation of how the oxidation process goes. The wool factory was extremely fragrant. Basically there were drying leaves everywhere. And then when we went out, we had the opportunity to see a small shop along the street that they were pressing some tea into cake. And after that we visited a roasting house, let's say, where this man here explained us how the traditional roasting on charcoal is done for yan cha. This was just the half of the day, because then another tea tasting started. We divided us in two groups on two tables, and then we swap. And we had on one table a tasting of dancong, since the family of this producer have also some relatives in Fenghuang, and they produce dancong as well. And on the other table we had rock tea. Alright, the next day in the morning what we did, we couldn't of course miss that. We went to visit the UNESCO World Heritage Site in Oishan. We spent the whole morning hiking. And as you can see here, we saw the famous cliffs that I'm sure many of you have heard about. And it was, as I say, the starting of the picking season, so there were quite some pickers coming down the mountain with this huge bag. I tried to keep up one on my shoulder, and I have to tell you, it's really heavy. And this picture is a very special place. This is New Lankan. It's one of the most famous and pricey valleys for rock tea production. In particular, the raw gui that comes from these trellis is extremely expensive. Alright, and as you can see here, we had a lot of fun, and we were really happy about the journey. In the evening, we went for another exclusive tea tasting. We have chosen here, again, one of my favorite tea farmers in Oishan. He has a private tea house, actually, that opens only for friends and customer, and we had, I'm pretty sure for many of us, the best rock teas ever. Also, some of us bought some tea, including me of course, and I think we had about 10 different rock teas, and also some very good black tea from Tongmuguan. Alright, we are approaching the end of the journey, so we took another train that evening or the next day, I don't remember, and we went back to Shanghai. In Shanghai there was fog, and there, after a little rest in the hotel, we visited a traditional tea house in Shanghai, where they are specialized in pu'er, mostly shu pu'er, but not only. And so we had someone preparing for us an aged shu pu'er. And yeah, we're just, you know, some relaxing time there. And this was almost the last day, because actually the last day, the next days, everyone was free. So there were people going to Shanghai just to visit the city, and others that fell in love with some product in the tea shopping mall. They went back in the shopping mall also to meet the retailers, and we were there to help translating for them. And after that, some of us went back to Europe or back to the US, and some other remained in China and continued the journey themselves. So I hope these give you a little bit of insights on what does it mean going to the tea fields, going to China yourself and experience China firsthand. We will do, as say, this again next year in 2020. In particular, yeah, will be about the last 10 days of April, the beginning of May. We are taking registration already now, and actually the sooner the better, because the sooner you register, the cheaper will be the flight. We can organize everything, also the flight for you. Alright, this is the end. I hope you have enjoyed this time, and I will see you very soon next time. And if you haven't done it yet, don't forget, subscribe our channel and give us a thumbs up. Bye bye.